MrBeast is in trouble, you guys. Of course, we could not be surprised because this past summer, he has been in so much trouble and it's only continued into the fall. An article has now been released about how Beast Games will possibly affect other creators because he just made us look so bad during the filming of that show. So we're going to be talking about what's been said about MrBeast and also what he's had to say, knowing that, you know, this show held a lot of weight and really could impact the creator's space, but clearly he went and did what he did. We're also going to be talking about his Lunchly company because there was mold, you guys, mold found in the food. I cannot believe it. We have a lot that we are going to talk about today. But wait, before we get into anything, let's chat for a second. I asked about a group name that I was gonna call you guys. I got it wrong. And that we wanna be the little teacups. I also saw little sugar cubes and I thought that was cute too, but little teacups was the winner. My bad, honestly. I do think that we are a little past like being just like a tea channel because we do talk about a lot more intense stuff than we used to at the beginning of all of this, but pop culture and news, it is all still under the spilling the tea umbrella. So little teacups wins. If that is not the name, we need to regroup. Let me know in the comments though. And let's get into the news. MrBeast's Amazon game show has been a major cause for controversy over the last couple of months, and unfortunately, his reputation in the entertainment industry might have some effects on other creators. And the worst part is that he knew that what he did affected others in the space from the beginning. He really did, and then he went and led this disaster. As we've talked about for a while now, back in July, reports started coming out about MrBeast's game show that was filming. The show is set to air on Amazon Prime and is said to be the biggest competition series in TV history. There were to be 1,000 contestants on this game show, and in July, MrBeast was filming a preview episode for the show that was going to air onto his YouTube channel, where he narrowed down the contestants from 2,000 to 1,000 that would then be on the Prime show. The filming of this was a complete disaster, with contestants coming out to share their experience, and it sounded like a nightmare. It was reported that contestants had not received adequate food or medical care, and said some competitors had suffered injuries from the physical challenges. The worst one that I read about was the bathroom situation, and it was recently revealed to the public. News 3 wrote an article last month after interviewing those a part of Beast Games, and they said, "We had a guy come up to us with his sleeping bag, and his sleeping bag was covered in excrement," said contestant wrangler Kara on the third day of the competition. The contestant had slept near one of the portable restrooms on the stadium field, she continued, "So that porta potty obviously overflowed," said Kara, who only saw the portable restrooms emptied once throughout the production. According to Kara, a MrBeast producer ordered a contestant wrangler to clean the mess and threatened termination when the worker expressed reluctance. The worker was not provided equipment or training on handling human waste, said Kara, who spoke with the extremely upset worker afterwards. After searching the stadium for protective equipment, she said they found gloves without the producer's guidance. After that incident, Kara said the MrBeast producer was reprimanded for their actions. Like, truly, it doesn't get any worse than hearing this. But Jimmy knew the weight that he carried in making a show like this, and that people would be looking at this as an example of what YouTubers can do, and that if this was a success, then this would probably open up way more doors for other creators. He talked about this earlier this year on a podcast, that these were things that he was fully aware of, and so it's extremely disappointing to see how it all turned out.
Of course, my pride's on the line, because obviously if this show doesn't do well, then it's like, oh, he's just, you know, a YouTuber. You know, he can't. Yeah, but it's not even just me, it's also other creators. Like, it's I take it very serious. This is why I'm putting so much effort and energy into it, because like if this flops, then people are gonna be like, yeah, YouTubers aren't capable of, you know, making it on streaming platforms. And I recognize it could either have a massive positive effect, and that every streaming platform is gonna be throwing deals left and right at creators, or a negative effect, and people are gonna go, if Jimmy couldn't make a hit show, what makes you think you can? And like, that is one of my biggest fears, is the inverse, which is why I'm not gonna let that happen.
I mean, there's still a chance that things could turn around when the show is actually released. I mean, maybe it will be a total hit and tons of people who maybe didn't hear about the drama are gonna be tuning in, and it gets a ton of views, and MrBeast is then known as the YouTuber that cracked the code and he created this hit show. I do think that as a creator, you know, one would hope that, but I would have hoped that from the beginning, that he would have really nailed down how this production was ran, that it would have gone smoothly, he would have represented YouTubers in the best way, and that this really would be huge for the future of YouTubers with potential deals on shows. But to see how messy it all went and to hear from reports that it seemed he didn't take things too seriously as far as safety and managing the contestants and making sure that they were okay, it's just extremely disappointing. And it's negatively impacted the YouTube space because just recently NBC published an article online about MrBeast Beast Games, and the headline was "Beast Games Set Issues Highlight Growing Pains in YouTuber-Run Productions." Certainly not the kind of headline you want to see come out when trying to make some really big moves in the creator space to get taken more seriously. It's as if this kind of set things back a little bit because Beast Games really is making it seem like online creators don't have the same knowledge and respect for the rules put in place for traditional productions, and it makes it seem like a real risk to be working with them. NBC wrote the accusations highlight what some in the digital production world, which typically refers to content created for social media platforms, have identified as a growing concern in the industry for years. Online creators, they say, often fail to ensure the same basic standards for treating cast and crew that more traditional entertainment sets do. And they later noted that Hollywood and the digital space haven't always seen eye to eye, and that digital productions could benefit from the same structure seen on traditional Hollywood sets. And certainly when it came to this production of MrBeast Beast Games, you could really tell that. And it's embarrassing. It is just embarrassing because these are the things that have people looking at content creators online in a different light, and that they're not held in that same light as traditional Hollywood productions. I mean, truly, we need to be caring about people that are working on sets, people that are in the content. This is important. Every person on this set matters. Everyone needs to be taken care of. Everyone needs to be happy. Obviously, in Hollywood, that's not always been the case, but there have been safeguards put in place to try and make things better. And in the digital space, that doesn't really exist. And we're seeing why it needs to, because otherwise it's going to be like the wild, wild west. I mean, it just seems that way because it's been reported by former employees and contestants on Beast Games that MrBeast hasn't been leading with safety in mind, and that his lack of empathy and desire for bigger and better videos with more views is his driving force in creating, which, as we saw with David Dobrik, was an extremely dangerous way of behaving and ruin his online career. And MrBeast isn't shy about his desires to rack up these accolades because he's ignored all the issues surrounding the filming of Beast Games. And like I talked about recently when he sat down with Logan and KSI, he was just gloating about all the records they broke and totally shied away from any of the negativity that occurred.
He broke over 40 world records while filming Beast Games. It's my Amazon show dropping later this year. Yeah. Most contestants of any game show in history, largest cash prize of any game show in history, most cameras recording simultaneously of any production in history. I can go on and on. I mean, if there's a world record for game shows, we broke it. And we even broke a lot of stuff that have nothing to do with game shows. It is, I really need Amazon to tell me what I can or can't say. I wish I could run you through the things we shot. It is literally going to blow your mind. It is 10 episodes, and every episode literally makes my YouTube videos look like child's play. Like they're just...
Because I know you had $100 million budget, but I also know...
Well, that's not... You don't know I had $100 million.
Well,
I've never said I had $100 million.
Yeah, but
that's what the headline said.
But you spent way more.
But yes, I also spent way more than $100 million. I somehow got one of the largest unscripted deals in history and then managed to lose tens of millions of dollars filming.
I think it's just most disappointing that he knew from the very beginning that he was going to be setting an example for future content creators in the weight of this project and the fact that it went the way that it did. But speaking of MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI, since we just mentioned them, their Lunchly brand has also faced a ton of backlash that we've talked about recently, but there has been some more drama, you guys, okay? And it has to do with the fact that there has been mold found in their Lunchly. Rosanna Pansino, of course, she gets the moldy Lunchly. This is not okay. Mold in food that they are selling and promoting, especially a product they're selling to children. But she tweeted, "Just opened my first Lunchly ever. So much mold. What kind of flavor of mold did you guys get?" In another tweet, she showed the expiration date and tweeted, "Used by December 8th, 24. And clearly it's still October, so the fact that this had mold in it was crazy. But she was planning to review the product against Lunchables articles, but obviously this mold was holding back that review.
I was shooting a video comparing Lunchly to Lunchables, and I opened the first package, which was supposed to be good until December 8th, 2024. And we just got this one. This was fresh from the store this morning, and there is a ton of mold in there. I honestly wasn't expecting that. I was thinking that, you know, maybe they would taste pretty similar, just, you know, not have that best or better for you ingredients. And I was going to go over nutritional facts and things, but this is really concerning. So I just am pausing from filming just to take a little break to show this. And I have a fork. Denise, is this okay if I use this? Yeah. Okay. I have a fork and I'm just going to dig into it just to see. Oh yeah, okay. That is a ton of mold. This is really dangerous.
This is literally just so gross, but I'm sure it'll be another thing that goes unaddressed since that seems to be the theme with MrBeast lately, but that is what is going on with him as of right now. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all the controversy that he's found himself in and the fact that now they're writing articles about the fact that his filming of Beast games is affecting the creator space. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.